This is the plaintiff, Benjamin Luciola. He says he was a tenant of the defendant in his rooming house, and he lived with 13 other people. His stuff was stolen from his room. The defendant is a multimillionaire who refuses to make good on his stolen belongings, and he's here in the name of justice, seeking the $3,000 he's now owed. This is the defendant, John Hurler. He says this case has no merit because he was told by the plaintiff that his stuff was given away by his brother. The guy never filed a police report stating he was robbed. He sympathizes with the plaintiff's situation in life, but is not about to fork over $3 grand to him because he feels badly. He's accused of having no heart.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case of the docket. The plaintiff was a tenant in the defendant's rooming house with 13 other people. Some of his stuff got stolen. Says the defendant's a millionaire, so he should pay. But the defendant says the guy's stuff was never stolen. It's the case of I got millions of reasons to sue.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Luciola,
Yes, ma'am.
you were living in a rooming house that you own, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long were you living there?
1 year.
Okay. And then at some point you got sick
I got sick in November.
and you ended up in the hospital?
Hospital for about a month, yes.
All right. During the time that you were in the hospital, somebody went to pack up your things to move you out of there?
My brother wanted me out of the rooming house because of the abuse I was subjected to, so he
What
went
was the
there.
abuse you were subjected
Well,
to?
the manager was very abusive. He was.
How so?
Well, he would accuse me of breaking things that I didn't break. The TVs were old and they broke, and he accused me of breaking. The refrigerator I was defrosting, and somehow the Freon got out, and he accused me of breaking the refrigerator. He was insulting. He denied or disrespected me as a veteran, said I never served in the military, talking to other tenants about me that I wasn't in the military. And he was just not a nice person.
Okay.
So I reported him to, later on, after about 6 months, I reported him to Mr. Hurler. I said, he's abusive to me and to a few other older tenants that live there, you know. And he never did anything. All he did was take the garbage out.
All right, let me ask you why are you suing Mr. Hurler? What happened?
Well, he didn't want to give me back my rent deposit.
Okay, let's
Now,
talk about that. Did he leave a deposit?
That's questionable at this point.
Why is it questionable? Is there a lease or isn't there?
There is a lease, okay? I do believe he possibly did.
Let's read the lease together.
We shall.
Okay, do you have the lease?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and is there in there, does it say that there was a deposit?
It does say that.
Okay, because
It
in
does
your
say
answer to the complaint, you're like, he didn't leave a deposit. All right, so the lease says there's a deposit, and you feel he's not entitled to get that deposit back because?
Because he didn't give 30-day notice.
All right, so when did you learn that he was going to leave?
It was on or about December 1st.
All right, and when did he actually leave?
Probably a little prior to December 1st, I understand.
Oh, okay. So did he pay November rent?
Yes, he did.
All right. He just never gave you notice, so you didn't have a chance to rent it out. That's
Correct,
what you're
Your
saying.
Honor. Normally, I would expect to receive
30
a
days notice, so you would have
30
a chance to advertise it while he's,
Yeah,
and then
in
you
writing.
wouldn't lose the money. So what?
There's nothing in the lease that says I have to give 30 days.
No, there's something in the law that does, though. Is the lease just over, or is a lease a month to month?
It is not. Okay.
What is it?
It was for a term of 1 year.
And then, so he was now a month to month.
Right. And yes, then it carries over onto a month-to-month basis.
Yeah. So now, what kind of notice did you give him? You just moved.
My lease expired on 31st of October, but I paid the rent for November.
Yeah, and that made you a month-to-month tenant.
Yeah, but then I was taken to the hospital. Now,
What day?
21st, I think it was,
what?
November.
Right.
Now, I had intended to write a letter to Mr. Hurley saying I was leaving on December 1st.
But you
because
didn't.
my brother insisted I get out of there and live with him.
Okay,
That's
well,
where
that's
I am
nice.
now. So, But being in the hospital, I didn't get out until like the 17th.
Okay, well, no, I understand everything you're saying. You're worried about your health, not about notice. But you've just admitted to me that you didn't give the notice. You gave him no notice. You just one day up and left. So why would you be in...
I was out of the room, okay, from the...
Yeah, but that's... what good does... If I'm your landlord, what good does it do me to be shocked that you left? I don't have time to rent it for this month now because you've left. So you've cost me the month of December because you didn't give me any notice.
Well, I didn't give it, but my brother did, okay? I can't...
You've never said that.
Well, because he was at the room...
Prove your brother gave notice.
He was cleaning it out.
So do you have to give 30 days notice if you don't have a lease, or can you just leave whenever you want?
You can leave whenever you want.
Can you?
You can.
You buy that?
Yeah, stay as long as you want, leave whenever you want. Your landlord should have made you sign a lease.
You're nodding?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you guys are going to be really surprised going inside the courtroom.
Prove your brother gave notice.
But he told me I wasn't going to be back.
Prove your brother gave notice.
He's not here. He's sick.
Yeah, because you've never said that before.
Well,
and do you live there or no?
No, Your Honor.
So then how would he know that he's cleaning stuff out? Where's the notice given to? That's your landlord. That's who you have to give the notice.
Okay, it wasn't written, but my brother was telling Jay, who was the manager, that I would not be back and will not pay the rent in December.
Now, the rest of what you're suing for $600 security deposit. We've really been over that. You didn't give him notice. You're not entitled to get that because that goes to cover that month that he wasn't able to rent your room out because you didn't give him notice. And then $2,400 for pain and suffering. What is that for?
Well, the abuse that I had to put up with this guy, Jay. I mean, I reported him, not to this gentleman, to someone else, Mr. Hurler. There must be brothers or something. I don't know who the other gentleman was. He runs the...
Okay, is there a brother involved or?
Yes, my brother is my partner.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to see him and told him about Jay, okay? And Pauline was there. Pauline also agreed with me. I don't know who Pauline is. Pauline related to him somehow.
It's my father's partner.
Okay.
All right, so Pauline
struggled with that a second, didn't you? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead. So Pauline...
Well, you don't write all this stuff down when you go complain to a person about what's going on at the house. We don't write things down. I went there because I was upset. He hacked into my computer and was printing my documents, personal stuff, okay? Accused me of breaking that I didn't break. And Pauline was upset with him also.
But Jay did that, right?
Yeah, and Pauline was...
So why would Mr. Hurler have to pay you because Jay was rude?
I notified him about the abuse from this man.
Okay, you keep calling it abuse, but I'm a judge, and in my world, when I hear abuse, I think of something very different than the stuff you're talking about. You found the manager annoying. And you told them the manager is rude and he's annoying. How does that entitle you to pain and suffering?
I had nowhere to live. I had to keep going back to that place.
How are you now? Are you living with your brother?
I'm with my brother now for a couple of months, and then I'm gone. I'm leaving the country. I'm going home.
Where's home?
I have a son in Indonesia. I'm going to live with him.
Good for you. That'll be fun. That's a nice next chapter.
I've been there before.
Oh. All right.
And also, in the lease, it doesn't say I have to give 30-day notice.
You have to by law when you are a month-to-month tenant.
This is Jersey. I mean, Jersey's a different planet. You have to know that. Jersey's a different planet.
The proper notice is 30 days, even in Jersey, okay? There are some states where it's 15, but Jersey's not one of them. So I find against you on the 600, and reference of pain and suffering that another person inflicted upon you, you say, because he was rude. I also find that he doesn't have to pay that. So I am finding fully in favor of the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And thank you for your service.
Well, it didn't work out for the plaintiff today, Mr. Luciola. I'm sorry, but the judge has found against you. You were suing for $3,000. You don't get anything.
The judge is wrong. There was nothing in the lease that says I have to give him 30 days. I don't give a damn where the hell I am. There's nothing in the lease.
It's the state law.
She's wrong. She's wrong.
She's right. No, she's not wrong.
She's wrong.
You got to trust the judge.
She's wrong.
Okay. Well, he's not too happy.
I sympathize with his situation, and I thank him for his service as well. But it's unfortunate it ended like this, but we try to do our due diligence and do the right thing by our community.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You must sign a few documents, and that'll do it. Harvey?
I mean, look, here's the thing, Doug. In most states, even if you don't have a lease, a tenant still has to give 30 days notice in order to get security back.